Hi everyone, it's Jenny here again, and I thought I'd do a studio tour. It's all tidy. Not for long, but yeah. So I'm at the entry, walking in from my laundry, and I've got a stack of boxes and stuff here that I've got all packed with junk journal stuff, buttons and fabrics and lace and all sorts. And this very cute basket full of little frames. These frames, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I'm going to do paintings, but of what, I don't know. And just swivel around. I've got a collection of frames that I've found in secondhand shops and garage sales, trash and treasure markets. I've got a few more down there. And this is one of my latest pieces. I've got prints on Etsy. I will be putting the original up very soon. On the other side, I have all my canvases and canvas boards and what do you call them? Wood panels. That's it. I've got drawers full of collage papers and napkins and all sorts of things, and some various creative artwork bits that I've got here. That was my very first painting of roses, done a very long time ago. Let me see if the date's on there. 2019. So this one is almost ready to go up on Etsy. My housemate framed it for me. It's an acrylic mixed media piece. I've got loads of retro and vintage wallpaper for collage and more very cute frames. Another drawer full of bits and pieces for junk journals and bits, you know, the journals that I make, folios and whatever. And some more frames. This one here was my very first drawing, and it's graphite and coloured pencil that I did back in 2018, not long after my husband passed away. And yeah, he'd bought me loads of art stuff, and he didn't live long enough to see me do art, unfortunately. So I hope I've progressed from that. This was in an exhibition. She's pretty gruesome, but I'm really proud of her. It's about COVID. So, and then coming around, I'll back up so that you can see. I've got my drill and fabrics and books that I'm going to pull apart for the paper, the pages, my A2 Canson Heritage pads. In this cupboard here, I've got a mixture of bits and pieces. I've got stuff for junk journals, and I've got all my paper pads and bits and pieces, some packaging even down there. Some collage spreads that I've made, which I will be doing on video, something like that again. And then moving right along, I've got some bookcases. I'll back up so that you can see. And in the bookcases, I have got all my watercolour stuff up the top there. Well, a lot of it is up there. My Daniel Smith, my Magello. I've got all sorts up there. White Nights. This is all my pastels and Neo 2 colours and all that sort of thing. And then I've got inks. Sorry if this is a bit dark, but it's all my inks. And then I've got just some paper for bits and pieces for storage, some art journals that I haven't opened yet, some student grade pencils which I use for journals, student grade paints down there, my Jo Sonja's, and my Liquitex is on the floor. And I've got a stack of books which I've chosen to do repurposed journals into. And then up here I've got my art book library. Some awesome books in there. Calligraphy stuff. I've got fountain pens, and which I'm still planning on learning to use properly. My watercolour pencils, Faber-Castell watercolour pencils, my Polychromos are there, and I've got my graphite and other bits and stuff on that shelf. And then underneath there I've got more scrapbooking papers and old newspapers, old music books and bits and pieces. And over here I've got all my junk journal stuff. Sorry if my thumb keeps getting in the way. Yeah, this is all my ephemera bits and pieces. That's the best storage I could do for it, unfortunately. And if we just swing around, excuse all the boxes and that in the background, they're not mine. So this is my art desk and my markers, which I've just finally got the boxes for. They're not quite big enough, but they'll do. And my gelatos, Inktense pencils, journals for bullet journals, art journals, and coming around this way is another workstation where I've got all my brushes and my palette knives. I've got small watercolour sketchbooks and that in there. My gemstones, which I love. I do burn incense when I'm in here sometimes. And yeah, these are my top quality brushes. I've got the sable ones in there and I've got Miriam Tilson's ones in there, and this is one of my sketchbooks that I've made, my very first one. And I've got my Daniel Smith watercolours and my Finitec, what is it? The Calero Finetec, whatever you call it, metallic paints, and more Daniel Smith. I've got 3 palettes of Daniel Smith there, and just some other bits and pieces. This is bits that I've got put aside for my latest mixed media piece, which I'm doing on a wood panel. I had to wait for the masking fluid. So I've got some Daniel Smith masking fluid, and I've got shelves full of beads, which I do use for making. I make sun catchers. These are all crystal and glass beads, and I use some for my journals and that. And I have my trolley full of art bits, and I have to back up my easel floor easel, and that is my latest mixed media piece which I've started. So I call it the dungeon because it is in my carport, and it serves its purpose for me. I get to close the door on it. I can leave stuff out while I'm working on it, and it's a large space. And you know, I do have ventilation. I don't use anything really that I need ventilation for. If I'm using adhesive spray, I do it outside. So that's it. I will be doing another video soon. Probably tomorrow I'll do a short video, and I'll explain why it's only going to be short. I have done a longer video, a full mixed media piece, but I need to wait until next week to put that up, and I'll explain why on the next video. Bye for now.